Hello, everyone. Hoodie D here, and I am joined by Mr. Yopops. How are
Yo,
you
yo,
doing, sir?
doing all right. Voice is a little bit messed up, so we'll see how we deal with this. But I'm ready, man. Ready.
Awesome. Today we are talking about the 2025 action thriller film, The Amateur.
Whoa!
For a brief description of this movie's plot, it is a vigilante action spy thriller directed by James Hawes, and it is actually based off of a book from 1981. The film stars Rami Malek as Charlie Heller, a CIA cryptographer whose wife is killed in a terrorist attack in London. When the CIA declines to act, he blackmails his superiors into training him as an assassin to seek revenge. So, pretty straightforward as far as the plot goes. Not a whole lot to talk about there. Yo Pops, what were your thoughts?
Um, so when I first saw the preview for this, uh, I thought it was gonna be a full-on action movie. I didn't think it was gonna be like a Die Hard or anything like that. But I thought it was gonna be a lot more action in it. But when I was watching the movie, it's actually more of like a suspense thriller type of movie. So my expectations was it's going to be a little bit like faster paced, but it was very slow paced, and it was mostly dialogue. But I will say though, it's not. It wasn't perfect, but I thought they did an all right job with the movie. What they were trying to go for.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of the same thing. The trailers made it look like it was going to be more of a an action, and I know what you mean, not by like a Die Hard or a Mission Impossible, but just more action than what the movie actually delivered. And I know it's not one of those types of movies, and that's fine. Um, Lawrence Fishburne was in this actually, and he was the mentor that trained.
Originally the traitor, then yeah.
And I actually did like him in this movie. I will say, I
Well,
did like.
but oh god, it's what was his name again? I just Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne. I mean,
Yep,
he's always knocked it out of the park with every role. At least every role that I've read, any movie I've seen with him in it. So he's been around for a while, so he knows what he's doing.
absolutely. And I did like how this film went from, the US to Paris to Madrid, Istanbul, and then of course the Baltic Sea at the end. Um, him just confronting multiple adversaries and uncovering internal CIA corruption and using that against the CIA. So um, it's always fun seeing, uh, corrupt officials.
Oh, definitely. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Would you say this would be a fair statement? This movie would be it would be uh, a Jason Bourne movie, but Jason or if Jason Bourne was like he was like the elite team, if he was like on the C team, the D team, it has a story about that. You know what I mean? Like I think it had it, but the thing with like the Bourne movies, it really well, okay. Kind of going off topic here, but I was kind of because when I was watching, I was like kind of comparing with the Bourne movies because with the Bourne movies, you have a lot of suspense, you have a lot of drama, but you also have a fair amount of action. It kind of equals out. So you're not like there's good dialogue, there's slow dialogue, but then it somehow changes pace. So you're not like bored for lack of a better word. I mean, but that's how the Bourne trilogies do it. But this one, I feel they were trying to go for that, but I think they wanted more dialogue than action. I felt like and here's another thing too. They did that. I don't know about you. But I felt they did that thing where they show all the action in the trailer, so you already like see it, and then it's like not even, and pretty much everything's just dialogue and suspense and stuff like that. What do you think?
No, I absolutely agree. And you know, this movie is not the type of movie where you're gonna have shootouts and you're gonna have like, running through cities and
Car
explosions, stuff like
chases and
that.
shit. Yeah.
In the trailers, yes, they did show like explosions and stuff like that. But kind of on the flip side, defending the movie for this choice, it is a straight up nerd who
Yeah.
this happens to. Like he's not a killer, he's not a badass, he's not even like a fighter.
He's an analyst. He's a data analyst
Yeah,
at the CIA. He's an office worker. He's not even like an agent. Let's say a CIA agent. He's kind of like uh, not bottom of the barrel, but he's like the guess the lowest tier, if you want to say.
Yeah, no, he sits behind a desk all day. That's his, that's his thing. And I did like how they didn't just turn him into like a straight badass out of nowhere, where he's just going around and dropping people.
It was
Um,
believable. It was believable that
yes,
someone could he could like do that. You know what I mean?
and all the ways he like took the people down. There's a great scene where this rich guy has a pool to himself, and it's a bridge between two skyscrapers is the pool, and uh he finds out a way to like over pressurize the
Yeah,
water, and the whole
crack
thing just
glass. And
it
let me
was awesome.
let me say, look. I had one thing that bothered me about that scene was the guy in the pool, the boss in the pool. He was close to the stairs when the was it Charlie? His name was Charlie, right? The main character.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. When Charlie sets the device off, the dude instead of like, okay, you could argue that okay, maybe Charlie had a gun, and if he went towards the stairs, he would shoot him. But he would have had a better chance because it was a shorter distance to go up the stairs than to swim the other side. But I understand plot, movie, for the movie and all that stuff. But I'm just like, I'm sitting there's like, dude, why don't you just like go forward and then like take your chances? If he shoots, you just run past him, and But obviously, like then it wouldn't be the movie what it is. So.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, he's right there in front of the stairs, but he's gonna swim to the whole other. It's not
Yeah.
like it's a short pool; it's a long
No, it was
ass.
a long ass. It was a
I
fucking
know.
bridge, dude. It's a fucking long ass bridge, man.
So yeah, and as far as like themes of the film, I always try to like see what the movie's trying to say in a way. Definitely revenge and justice. Grief and loss, dealing with loss of your loved one, wife, partner, corruption and betrayal. I did enjoy that aspect of because we all know how politicians and these people are in
Yeah.
real life, so
I,
it's
I,
it's just fun seeing it.
I was actually surprised that they went for that angle because you know how the head director or whatever the lady like
Hmm.
she was actually like I thought she was going to be working with the other dude it was the black dude and then the other dude the other white dude that was Charlie Superior or whatever.
Yep.
I thought she was all in on it, but like the message of pretty much the message of that movie was like we have to keep these agencies like if we need these agencies to protect our national security interests or whatever, we need to have a way to make sure that they are controlled and they're not doing these dark projects type of stuff. And I kind of do like it. I mean, in Born Identity did the same thing. I think, but even though they did a lot better, but like it was the same message of like these agencies can go corrupt, they go out of control. Like who watches the watchers? Who watches the watchmen? So I did appreciate that messaging in there.
Same. And then I think another big part of the movie is transformation and identity. He went from a code breaker in the CIA to a self-trained operative, not necessarily a badass in the field operative, but he could take entire governments down. Not, I won't say governments, but um, he just
Infrastructures and things like that.
yeah, he can get into places, shut things down, and um, make you question like your own methods and your own technology. And then when it's too late, he's already there.
And that's what I loved about it is that, and they didn't take him and then like full on transformation. Now he's going out there, Billy Badass, killing all these people, not getting hurt. Like they kept it true to his character as a geek, let's say geek nerd. He's working with computers, analyzing data, and I thought it was believable that like. And obviously in real life, the CIA, like let's say there's analysts and the same situation happens. CIA is not going to fucking let him go. They're not going to train him to go and do all this. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? But if they did, like that would be a plausible like it would be plausible scenarios, like he was afraid to kill and then Lawrence Fishburne's character was like, dude, you're not cut for this, so he figures out a way instead of using brawn, using like the ability to kill. I guess he did kill some people, but like he uses more covert techniques. He did it with the explosives, with the thing where it shattered the glass in the pool, things like that. So I thought it was I thought they did that really well, where they played into the characters like his traits and then built it around it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all seen those movies where the guy is a nothing, and then 20 minutes later he's just this ass kicker who, uh, has no real fear of dying or like. But this
That was
movie
Novocaine. That was
felt
Novocaine.
like it.
You,
It
you, you,
literally,
you're talking about Novocaine.
yes, literally. Like a
Yeah,
few weeks ago, we saw Novocaine, and this guy was a very similar. He just
yeah.
a bank assistant bank manager, has no, experience in anything like this, and he just and
You just can't feel pain. So, it's like, okay, that's like, anyways.
but yeah, though I did enjoy how it was grounded, and he relied on his his brains and his technology, and he knows he can't just go up to somebody and win in a fight or shootout. Like that's not who he is.
Let me ask you this. So, I was, when the wife got killed, I felt like it was way too short. The whole, like, that scene where, like, in the beginning where, uh, she gets killed. And honestly, I thought that, like, later on at the end, it was gonna be like revealed that the wife was still alive. They like kidnapped her, like she didn't really die or some shit. Or, like the CIA like was holding her or some shit. It was like a complete like, I guess it was a false flag operation, but like a complete setup. Like it was a non-organic thing, and like they kept her somewhere, and like he would eventually find her, and it's like it would be his boss. Yeah, like you found us out, and then but no, it wasn't like that. He actually died. So and then
I just think it went by too, like it happened too fast.
yeah, where the terrorist attack and all that, like it was just kind
Yeah,
of like a blip on it. Yeah,
yeah,
I felt like they could
it's
kind of work with that a little bit
way too
more.
quick. So, but yeah, overall, I did enjoy the movie more than I didn't. I gave it a 7 out of 10. So,
Oh
that's
shit.
my rating. How about you, Mister
I was
Yopop?
thinking about this when I got out of the movie theater. I wanted to give it a 7. I really did. But everyone gives everything a 7 when they're like not sure. I mean, so I might give this I might give this like a 6, 6.5, just because
Okay.
my expectations when I went into the movie theater, it wasn't the same from it wasn't the from what I watched on the trailer, the way that they portrayed the movie on the trailer when I first watched it. It wasn't the same expectation when I actually watched the movie, because wasn't a lot. It was action. It was some action in there, but it's mostly like suspense, dialogue, drama, things like that. So it kind of, but like, yeah, I don't know if that should count towards the points, but I'm just gonna count it towards the points. So 6.5.
Yeah, there you go. All right, folks, you heard it here. 7 and a 6.5. If you have seen the movie, if you have any thoughts about it, please leave a comment. And of course, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. We would love to have you in the community.